It is mid-February 2026. And if you have spent even 5 minutes on Zillow lately, or driven past a for sale sign in the suburbs, you know exactly what the vibe is right now. It isn't just busy, it's tense.
It's high stakes.
Incredibly high stakes.
hmm
It feels expensive, it feels tight, and frankly, it feels like the rules of the game are changing every single week. We're seeing things in the housing market right now that we haven't seen in, what, 2 or 3 years?
hmm
That frantic energy of 2024 is gone, replaced by this sort of stubborn standoff.
That is a perfect way to describe it, a standoff. And today, we're going to ground that anxiety. We are zooming in on a very specific, very competitive slice of the world, the Garnet Valley School District in Delaware County, Pennsylvania.
Right. And the reason we picked this deep dive isn't just because Garnet Valley is a hot market, which, I mean, it is. It's because the source material we're looking at today highlights a massive blind spot.
A huge one.
It suggests that most people, smart people who will spend 3 hours researching which $50 toaster to buy on Amazon, are hiring the person responsible for their biggest financial asset based on, well, mostly nothing.
Or worse than nothing, they're hiring based on vibes.
Exactly. It's the, oh, my cousin's neighbor used her and said she was so nice syndrome. Or just clicking the first sponsored face that pops up on Google.
Which is a terrifying way to handle a transaction that, in this district, is approaching $750,000.
Yeah.
Being nice is great for a dinner guest, but nice is not a negotiation strategy, and nice definitely doesn't understand zoning laws in Concord Township.
So that is our mission today. We are going to build what I'm calling a lie detector kit.
I like that, a kit to cut through the fluff.
We're taking the data from our sources and giving you, the listener, a set of hard questions and specific benchmarks to vet a real estate agent specifically for Garnet Valley.
Uh-huh.
We're moving past friendly and trying to find competent. Because honestly, reading through this research, I realized I would have failed this test if I were hiring someone today.
Most people would, because the industry is designed to make you feel comfortable, not necessarily informed. But before we get to the interrogation questions, we have to set the scene.
Right.
You can't vet a general if you don't understand the battlefield.
So set the scene for us. It's early 2026. What does the hard data say about Garnet Valley right now?
Well, the numbers are tight. As of right now, the median home price in the district is $686,520.
Which is a big number. That's significantly higher than the national average and even the county average.
It is. But here's the number that scares me more. Inventory. We're looking at a 1.2-month supply.
Wow.
In plain English, if no new houses came on the market starting today, everything would be sold out in about 5 weeks.
Okay, contextualize that for me. What is a healthy market?
A balanced market is usually 5 to 6 months of supply. So we're at, what, 1/5 of what would be considered normal?
1/5.
There are only about 30 active listings in the entire district.
30. That is tiny. That's like one classroom of kids. That's it.
That's it.
Okay, so if I'm a listener sitting in a house in Garnet Valley thinking about selling, I'm hearing low inventory and high prices, and I'm thinking, jackpot.
Right.
I can just stick a sign in the yard, demand $1 million, and wait for the bidding war.
And that is exactly the trap. That is the dangerous assumption that is costing people money right now. Yes, inventory is low, but the market behavior has shifted.
How so?
It's a seller's market, technically, but it's a punishing one.
Punishing how?
Because buyers in 2026 are exhausted. They're picky. Interest rates have stabilized, but they aren't zero anymore. People are price sensitive in a way they weren't in 2024.
Okay.
If you misprice your home, even with low inventory, it will sit. And we have data to prove that, which we'll get to.
So low inventory doesn't mean guaranteed profit.
Not anymore. And that's why the nice agent gets you killed. Nice doesn't help you understand why a house in Concord Township prices differently than one in Chester Heights.
Right.
Nice doesn't help you navigate a market where over 1/3 of the listings are actually slashing their prices right now.
Wait, we'll get to that stat in a minute because that one blew my mind. But let's look at the roadmap. We have 2 main metrics. Hard numbers that separate the experts from the generalists.
Yep.
Then we have a specific trap called buying the listing, which sounds ominous.
It is.
And finally, a really interesting way to use AI like ChatGPT or Claude to audit your agent.
It's a great toolkit.
Let's jump into metric number 1, the specialist versus the generalist. If I'm sitting across the coffee table from an agent, drinking the coffee they bought me, what is the first question I need to ask to see if they're legit?
You look them in the eye and ask, how many transactions have you closed specifically within the Garnet Valley School District in the last 24 months?
And I'm guessing the emphasis is on specifically.
Crucial. Because here's the dance they will do. They'll say, oh, I'm a top producer in Delaware County, or I do a ton of business in Greater Philadelphia.
Which sounds impressive. If someone tells me they sold 50 homes in Philly, I assume they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing in Philly, but real estate is hyper-local. Garnet Valley is a micro market.
Right.
If they've sold 50 homes in Springfield or Upper Darby, that tells me they are good at selling homes in Springfield or Upper Darby. It gives them almost zero transferable expertise on how to price a luxury home in Bethel Township.
Why? What makes this specific rectangle of Pennsylvania so unique that a general agent wouldn't get it?
Because Garnet Valley isn't a monolith. It's actually 3 distinct municipalities mashed together: Bethel Township, Concord Township, and Chester Heights Borough.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And they are radically different.
Different how? Like, surely a house is a house.
Not here. Take Bethel Township. A lot of Bethel is still somewhat rural. You have larger lots, maybe 2 acres, but that often means you're on septic systems and well water.
Which brings a whole host of inspection issues.
Exactly. If you have an agent who only sells townhomes in media, where everything is public sewer, they might not even know how to write the contingencies for a septic inspection.
Good point.
Then you have Concord Township. That's the commercial hub. It's denser. You have the shopping centers. The traffic patterns are different. And then Chester Heights Borough is smaller, historic, quirkier pockets.
And taxes? Are they different too?
Different tax rates for each municipality, even though they are all in the same school district. If an agent treats them all the same, they are going to misprice the home.
So it's like hiring a cardiologist to do knee surgery.
That's the perfect analogy.
They're both doctors, but you want the specialist.
You wouldn't let a cardiologist replace your knee just because they're nice.
So what's the benchmark? If I ask this question, how many deals in the last 2 years? What number is the cutoff?
According to our sources, fewer than 5 transactions in the district in the last 2 years is a red flag.
5 seems low. I feel like a top agent should be doing 50.
It's a tight market, remember. Only 30 listings active right now. So 5 deals means they are consistently active in this specific inventory.
Okay, that makes sense.
If they haven't done at least 5, they are learning on your dime. They are using your house as their practice round.
Okay, but let's play devil's advocate. Agents are salespeople. They can bluff. If they say, yeah, I know the area, I've sold a bunch here, how do we verify that without asking to see their tax returns?
You hit them with the neighborhood knowledge test.
Which is?
Ask them to name 5 distinct neighborhoods in the district and explain the buyer profile for each.
Okay, give me an example. What does a passing grade sound like?
A passing grade sounds nuanced. They should be able to say, well, Fox Hill Farm is a 55-plus community. We're marketing to downsizers who care about the clubhouse and low maintenance.
Right.
But Greystone, that's luxury, large lots, targeting executives working in Wilmington or maybe doctors at the nearby hospitals.
Versus just saying, oh, they're both nice subdivisions with big houses.
Exactly. Or they should know the difference between the writings at Concord, which is a specific era of build, versus the rural parts of Bethel. If they treat the district as one big homogeneous blob of nice houses, that's a fail.
Wow.
There are over 23 distinct neighborhoods here. You need someone who knows the flavor of each one.
Okay, so that's metric 1, volume and geography. If they pass that, we move to metric 2. And this one feels a bit more technical, but the source material suggests this is the heartbeat of the 2026 market.
It really is.
The list-to-sale ratio.
This is the number that tells you who is actually paying attention. The list-to-sale ratio simply tracks what percentage of the asking price are homes actually selling for.
And what is it right now in Garnet Valley?
As of mid-February 2026, it sits at 97.5%.
Okay, let's unpack that math, because 97.5% sounds high. That sounds like an A-plus sign. If I got a 97.5 on a test, I'd be thrilled.
It sounds good, but in real estate terms, it tells a very specific story. It means, on average, homes are selling for 2.5% below the asking price.
So if we take that median price of roughly $686,000, 2.5% is, hang on, roughly $17,000?
Right. The average seller is accepting a check for $17,000 less than they asked for. And here's the context. This is the lowest this ratio has been in at least 2 years.
Oh, interesting. So the fever is breaking.
The fever has broken. The market is shifting. We're seeing a little less frenzy. Buyers have regained a tiny bit of leverage.
Okay.
They aren't waiving every contingency anymore. They're negotiating.
So how do I use this as a lie detector? Because if an agent knows this number, great. But what if they don't?
You use it to spot the yes man. If you are a buyer and an agent tells you, oh, you have to offer full asking price immediately, it's a seller's market. Without any nuance, they are lying to you. Or at least they are operating on outdated software.
Or they're just lazy.
Or they are trying to protect their commission and get the deal done fast because the data says people are negotiating $17,000 off on average.
And for sellers,
Yeah.
this seems even more dangerous for sellers. If I list too high, I'm in trouble.
It is. Because there's another statistic that pairs with that ratio. And this is the one you mentioned earlier that shocked you.
Yeah.
Currently, 36.7% of active listings in Garnet Valley have price reductions.
Wait, 36.7%. That's more than 1 in 3.
Over a third of the homes currently on the market started too high and had to cut their price.
That seems incredibly high for a market with such low inventory. Usually low inventory means you can name your price. Why is that happening?
It's hubris. It tells you that sellers and their agents are getting greedy. They are pricing based on the insanity of 2024 or 2025. They're saying, let's test the market at $750K. The market says no, the house sits, becomes stale, and then they have to slash the price.
And usually when you chase the market down like that, you end up getting less than if you had priced it correctly to begin with.
Almost always, because now you look desperate. The listing has been up for 60 days. People think something is wrong with the foundation.
So the question for the agent is, what is the current list-to-sale ratio? And how do you account for the 36% price reduction rate in your strategy?
Exactly. Watch their face when you ask that. If they stare at you blankly, show them the door. If they say, oh, price reductions don't happen on my listings, they are lying.
Okay.
If they can't explain why over a third of the market is slashing prices, they're going to lead you right into that same trap.
Which leads us perfectly into the next segment. The source material calls this the trap. It's a concept called buying the listing. And honestly, hearing how this works makes me never want to trust a salesperson again.
It is the oldest, dirtiest trick in the book. And the reason it works is that it weaponizes your own ego against you. It plays on the fact that we all think our house is the best house on the block.
Walk us through the scenario. How does an agent buy a listing? Do they pay me?
No, you pay them eventually. Here's the scene. You are selling your lovely home in Garnet Valley. You interview 3 agents. Agent A does the research, looks at the 97.5% ratio, looks at the comps, and says, I think we should list at $675,000.
Okay. Reasonable. Data-backed.
Agent B comes in. They also do the math. They say, I agree, $675,000 is the sweet spot to generate multiple offers.
So you have a consensus. The data says $675K.
But then Agent C walks in, and Agent C has a great suit, a great smile, and they look around your living room and say, wow, this natural light is incredible. I love what you've done with the backsplash. I think we can get $740,000 for this.
Then suddenly Agent A and Agent B look like jerks. They look like they don't get the value of my home. They're pessimistic. Agent sees it as visionary.
Precisely. You feel flattered. You see dollar signs. That's an extra $65,000 in your pocket. So you hire Agent C.
I hire Agent C because they promised me the moon.
That is buying the listing. They bought the contract by promising a price they knew was unrealistic.
Wow.
They knew it wouldn't sell at $740K, but they wanted your signature on the exclusive listing agreement.
And then the reality sets in.
The fallout is painful. The house sits. Remember, average days on market is around 67 right now in the broader data. But hot homes sell in a weekend. If yours sits for 45 days, buyers wonder, what's wrong with it? It becomes stigmatized.
So Agent C comes back.
Agent C comes back and says, oh, the market is softening unexpectedly. We need a price reduction. Then another. Eventually, you sell for $665,000, which is less than what the honest agents told you in the first place, because now you're chasing the market down with a stale listing.
That is brutal. You lose money and you waste months of time keeping your house clean for showings that never happen.
Yep.
So how do we defend against this? If someone comes in with a dazzlingly high number, how do we know if they're a visionary genius or if they're just buying the listing?
You have to force them to show their work, demand the receipts, ask to see the specific comparable sales justifying that price.
Show me the other houses that sold for $740K.
Right, and specifically ask them to reconcile that high price with the 97.5% list-to-sale ratio. Ask them if the market is trading at 97% of ask and 36% of homes are cutting prices, why do you think we can defy gravity?
Why can we defy gravity? I love that question. It puts them on the spot immediately.
If they don't have a data-driven answer, they are playing you.
Okay, let's shift gears a little bit. We've talked about hard numbers, but real estate is also about life. It's about lifestyle. You aren't just buying a box to sleep in. You're buying a commute, a school system, a Saturday morning routine.
Absolutely. And a true local expert knows the friction of the daily grind, not just the MLS stats.
So what are the lifestyle tests we should be running?
Commute is the big one here. Garnet Valley is a commuter hub. An agent should know exactly how long it takes to get to I-95 or Route 1 at 8:00 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Not just what Google Maps says right now.
Correct. They should know that it's 30 to 40 minutes to Philly, but that varies wildly depending on whether you're on the Bethel side or the Concord side.
Right.
And they absolutely need to know the Delaware connection.
The tax-free shopping.
A huge factor. You are minutes away from the Delaware border. The Concord Mall, Christiana Mall sales tax is 0%.
Hmm.
If an agent doesn't mention that you are a 10-minute drive from saving 6 or 8% on your major appliances or jewelry, they aren't thinking like a local.
That's a real tangible benefit. If
Yeah.
I'm buying a $3,000 fridge, driving 10 minutes to save $200 is worth knowing.
Absolutely.
What about schools? Obviously, it's the Garnet Valley School District, so that's the draw. But is great schools enough of an answer?
No, that's lazy. Every agent will say, great schools. They need specifics. They should know about the high school's performance metrics, sure, but also the extracurricular culture
Okay.
and recreation, Brandywine Creek State Park, Newland Grist Mill. Ask them, if I work in Wilmington, which neighborhood minimizes my drive? If they have to pull out their phone to check, they don't know the flow of the town.
Now, I want to ask about the alphabet soup. You see agents with these business cards that look like a Scrabble board. GRI, CRS, ABC, XYZ. Does any of that actually matter? Or is it just fluff?
Most of it. Total fluff.
Go.
Weekend courses they took to get a PIN, it's marketing. But our source material highlights 3 specific designations that actually do matter, depending on who you are.
Okay, rapid fire. Which ones should we look for?
First, SRES, Seniors Real Estate Specialist.
Who is that for?
If you are downsizing, or more importantly, if you are helping aging parents sell a family home they've been in for 30 years, this isn't just about selling, it's about tax implications, estate sales, elder care coordination. It is a completely different emotional and financial transaction than selling a starter home.
Okay. Number 2.
RCS-D, Real Estate Collaborative Specialist, Divorce.
Wow, that is specific.
It is, but unfortunately common.
Oh, yeah.
If you are navigating a divorce, the house is often the most contentious asset. You don't want a standard agent.
Right?
You need someone trained to work with mediators and attorneys, someone who understands how to handle asset division without inflaming the conflict between the spouses.
That makes a lot of sense. You want a diplomat, not just a salesperson. And the third one.
CLHMS, Certified Luxury Home Marketing Specialist.
No, we said the median is around $686K. Is that considered luxury?
In this context, luxury usually hits around the $800,000 or $900,000 mark. And yes, there are plenty of those in Garnet Valley.
Okay.
Marketing $1 million home is fundamentally different than a $400K townhome.
Different how?
Different buyer pool, different expectations. You aren't doing open houses with cookies. You're doing private showings, the photography, the staging, the global reach. It all has to be elevated.
Right.
If you have a luxury property, you want someone who has proven they can play in that arena.
So the takeaway is ignore the letters unless they apply to your specific life situation.
Correct. Ask them, what do these letters mean for my sale? If they can't answer that, it's just
All right.
decoration.
Okay, we are coming down the home stretch, and I promised a modern twist. This is something I hadn't thought of, but it makes so much sense in 2026, using AI to audit your agent.
This is the ultimate power move for the consumer.
How does it work? Do I bring a robot to the interview?
Not quite. You interview the agent, let them talk. They give you their pitch, they make a bunch of claims about the market direction, they tell you prices are up 20%, you take detailed notes.
Okay, literally typing down what they say.
Yes. Then you go home, open up ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity, and you feed it this prompt. I am considering hiring a real estate agent for Garnet Valley School District. Here are the specific claims they made about market trends and pricing. Can you verify these against current market data?
That is brilliant. It's like a background check for their competence.
It won't replace your judgment. AI can hallucinate too, so you have to double check, but it will catch the obvious lies.
Yeah.
If they told you prices are skyrocketing, but the data shows that price reduction rate of 36% we talked about, the AI will flag that contradiction immediately.
It's a second opinion that's instant and free.
It's trust, but verify, and frankly, a good agent shouldn't be afraid of you checking their math.
So let's bring this all home. We have covered a lot of ground today. We've got the specialist metric, the list-to-sale ratio, the trap of buying the listing, and the lifestyle nuances. If we had to summarize the lie detector kit for the listener, What are the 3 things they need to write down right now?
Number 1, transaction volume. Do they have more than 5 deals specifically in the Garnet Valley School District in the last 24 months? If not, why?
And don't settle for Delaware County expert.
Yeah, actually. Number 2, market competence. Do they know the list-to-sale ratio is 97.5%? Can they explain the 36% price reduction rate without stuttering?
That's the one that exposes the yes man.
And number 3, the neighborhood test. Can they name and differentiate 5 distinct neighborhoods? Do they know the difference between Fox Hill Farm and the Ridings?
Right.
Do they know where the sewer lines end and the septic tanks begin?
Simple, actionable, and data-driven.
And remember the implication here. In a market where the median price is nearing $700,000, the agent works for you. If they cannot answer these questions without looking them up, keep looking. There are agents who know this stuff cold. Find one of them.
It really puts it in perspective. I spent 3 weeks researching which winter tires to put on my car. That was an $800 decision.
We read reviews, we watch YouTube videos, we ask 3 different mechanics.
Right. But for a $700,000 asset, we just go with whoever our cousin recommends because we don't want to be rude.
It's a cognitive dissonance that costs people a fortune. We treat the house like a home, but the sale like a casual favor.
Yeah.
It's a business transaction.
So here is the provocative thought I want to leave everyone with today. We focus so much on the house itself, the quartz countertops, the school rating, the size of the backyard. But in a transaction this complex, the person guiding you is actually a structural part of the deal.
I like that.
They are just as important as the foundation.
They really are. They are the structural integrity of the sale.
So ask yourself, why is liking them considered enough? If you were hiring a surgeon, you wouldn't care if they were fun at a barbecue. You'd care if they had steady hands. Maybe it's time we started treating our financial health with the same level of seriousness.
Couldn't have said it better. Verify, verify, verify.
That's it for this deep dive. Good luck out there in the Garnet Valley market. Use the kit, don't fall for the traps, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Happy house hunting.